What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Straight Facts, a sports show that educates and entertains. I'm your boy, Jimmy J, with a full cast, man, a full team roster. Haven't had this in a minute. Jake Galley, Kyle Sirik, Stat Matt Robinson. What's up, y'all? The gang's all here. We making it happen today.
What's up? What's up?
Nothing
Dude,
much.
I don't think. When was the last time we had 4? 6 weeks?
It's been a while.
It's
a
been
minute.
a while, man.
But like it was, we were wearing jackets outside. Like it wasn't nice weather last time. All four of us
Right.
were on it. So
Right.
definitely we got to tap into the NBA playoffs. That's the whole episode we're talking about today. Not worried about anything else going on really in my life, to be honest. And it's all NBA playoffs. So that's what we're going to talk about. It's going to lead us right in to the facts straight at you. LeBron James is 4-5 in his career in series that he's trailed 3-2. The Suns currently lead the Lakers 3-2 in the first round. That's going to go perfectly in to what we want to do for this episode, because we're going to try to break down as much as we can all the most interesting first round playoff series. We'll start right there with the Suns and Lakers. Obviously, we said it, Phoenix leads 3-2. And for me, the biggest takeaway of this series, as the pseudo Suns fan I am on this podcast, is that this is a team with a bunch of players in their first playoff series, but it doesn't look like they're in their first playoff series. And I think, again, a testament to Chris Paul. Every chance I get, I'm gonna have a testament to him. But he's got a bunch of players who've never been in this spot before performing like this is routine for them. And everyone is kind of stepping right into form. Devin Booker averaging 26, 5 and 5. That includes 2 30-point games already in this series. He kind of struggled in game 2, but has picked it up everywhere. Like that's the first thing I want to talk about. That's the first thing that needs to be talked about. Is they all look ready to go. There was no warm up. There's no first playoff jitters from these rookie playoff performers. They're all ready to go and make it happen from the jump.
They have to be. I mean,
you're playing
shooting
80% from the field.
80% from the field.
And that's like, here's what's crazy about it. The first, 4 games, he's taking AD's lunch money, straight taking it from AD, like getting whatever he wants against AD.
Soft boy.
Game 5 rolls around, AD's out. They put in Drummond, you're getting more Gasol. DeAndre Ayton struggled. He through the first quarter and a half, he had 0 rebounds. To me, that's not a knock against DeAndre Ayton. He's been awesome. But to me, that really points to the Lakers might be in big trouble here. With or without AD, they're going to be in real big trouble here, which we kind of, I don't know if we wrote off the Suns.
Y'all wrote them off.
We were
y'all did.
We were doing
some bracket?
Y'all did. Y'all, Kyle, you didn't write off the Suns? No, you wouldn't.
Did you see my bracket?
No, you wouldn't write off the Suns.
I had the Suns being the Lakers. Yeah,
right,
come
you
on.
wouldn't write off the Suns.
I said it was bad luck Suns get them next year. Mm-hmm. That was my quotes out my mouth. So I would say you really have to hats off to Chris Paul for his toughness and his IQ. The two things, he has, as you said, James, these guys are ready to go. Defending champions doesn't matter. Every man in there is ready to knock down a big shot if it comes their way, get a big rebound, and they're playing scrappy. So that's Chris Paul's fingerprints are all over that team.
Monty Williams, too. Yeah. Let's give Monty Williams some credit for that as well.
Yeah, of course.
We're getting him ready. Right, Coach of the Year.
This is the 2 seed, though, and I think that's why we're thinking of it as a narrative, because they're playing the Lakers, and that's why it's a big thing. But this is the 2 seed. We're talking about, you're facing LeBron. It's a little different, but I'm not surprised at this at all. They had a great regular season. People were writing off the Jazz, too, right? Now they're up 3-1. This is what they're expected to do.
Nah, I think the Jazz were playing when they fell down, Ja Morant Grizzlies team.
When they fell down 2-1 and Chris Paul's shoulder looked like it was really terrible, and they had Game 4 in LA, I feel like everyone figured, oh, this is over in 5 or maybe 6 if the Suns win at home. But they were able to get that win on the road in LA with AD getting hurt, and Chris Paul just gutted it out for just a Chris Paul 18-9 game. And then Game 5 rolled around, and the Lakers had no clue how to play without AD. And Dennis Schroeder looks like the Lakers fan scapegoat if the series goes the wrong way.
The Mario Chalmers Award he's won. Congratulations, Dennis.
That's
Lakers fans would call it the Danny Green Award.
Exactly.
No, but they won a championship. Like Mario Chalmers, that would be tough if he got the Mario Chalmers treatment.
Chalmers won 2 chips.
That's true. Chalmers did win championships.
So I know you say that this is what they're supposed to do, Kyle. And maybe to a point that's true. But Las Vegas, people who are their job is to get this right, going into the series had the Lakers as, betting favorites. So Vegas expected the Lakers to come out of this one. And granted, that has somewhat to do. I mean, you get kind of in the weeds there when you look at everyone bet on the Lakers to win the title. So they kind of need money on the Suns. So it's just a balancing act. But overall, like I've been saying, hats off to the Suns for their performance so far.
Like one of the biggest things that steps out to me is he has them so prepared. Like when he goes down, he being Chris Paul, like everyone's stepping up when they need to. And that mainly happens when he goes down. Game 1, the shoulder injury happens. He has 7 points. Mikal Bridges comes off the bench, gives them 10 and 4 with timely threes made. That was DeAndre Ayton's monster game of 21 and 16. Game 3, Chris Paul, 7 points. Campaign, 15 off the bench. DeAndre Ayton again, 22 and 11. And then game 5 that just happened, Chris Paul has 9 points. Mikal Bridges has 13, 6 and 3. Campaign, 16 off the bench. I believe Cam Johnson also had 11 off the bench, coming in, making timely threes. So not only has them ready to go, but when he goes down is when those role players, those ancillary players step up. And I'm sure a lot of people caught it, but there was a clip as, inside the NBA is getting ready to go off and they're getting ready to go into the game where it's pregame and Chris Paul and Campaign are somewhere around midcourt and they're hunched over and Chris Paul's saying something in the Campaign's ear. And I'm sitting there with my guys who are watching the game and we're all trying to figure out, like, what's he saying? I'm like, he's saying, like, make sure you're ready. Like, you see this shoulder, you see me in the locker room. This joint is not 100%. So stay ready because your playoff minutes are only going to increase the further and further we go. And, like, you're going to need to do that. That first monster Campaign game, what was it, 16 in game 3 or something like that? Like, he was saying that can't be a fluke. That can't just be a one-off thing. Like, you've got to be that guy for the rest of the playoffs now. Like, I think that's what he was saying. That's part of the preparation that he's going. Like, he's not – that message doesn't happen when it's time to step up. That message has been happening way before, so they're not surprised to it. Like, that's what I see. That's huge.
Yeah, that's the leadership, obviously. And Campaign has been the big surprise. That's double digits in 4 out of the 5 games now. Mm-hmm. He's been money. I'm surprised Sarge isn't playing much, but they haven't needed him with Cam Johnson also getting buckets. And we haven't even seen Jay Crowder play well yet. And I know he's getting all the meme hate, blah, blah, blah.
Nah, he's doing his job.
He's not a LeBron guarder, guys. Jay Crowder is not supposed to be the LeBron shutdown guy. And
that's why he's
stepped
doing
up yet, really. So, yeah. So as long as Devin Booker keeps putting in these games, I think he's a top 5 playoff scorer right now. Maybe it's a little further than that, but as long as he keeps putting in the buckets, the rest of the team around him is doing their job, and they're doing well.
Devin Booker's going off, and he's only shooting 28% from 3. That number is going to come up, so the Lakers have to respond because they can't count on Devin Booker shooting inefficiently from 3. LeBron needs to have a 2018 LeBron performance in Game 6 and 7 for the Lakers to have a shot, and that obviously is definitely on the table.
Well, yeah. I don't know if it's on the table.
Don't.
Like a fully healthy 2021 LeBron, sure. LeBron's not fully healthy. Like, I don't know if I'm watching the same LeBron.
I'm not saying it's likely, but it's obviously possible.
Like, he's still able to create. He's still able to be effective.
Now you can see it, though.
That turn the corner freight train, either you're fouling me or I'm cramming it on your head, is not there. And that has to be the ankle. It just has to be. Like, it is not, at least in the first 2 games, it was very noticeable, in my opinion. Maybe he's starting to heal, but like without AD, it is really scary hours for the Lakers because I'm not sure LeBron's 100%.
Yeah, and wait, question. What's going on with Trez? Why we see the 6th man of the year, no minutes, a DNP?
And he's complaining about it on social media. Also, that's not good.
No, but what's cracking me up is he puts that cryptic tweet out and then tweets like, "Oh, y'all gonna play detective by what I tweet." Like, you know what you was doing, man. Like, don't get mad because we know how to decipher something. Like, but I'm wondering, like, why no Montrezl Harrell?
At the end of that's been happening ever since they got Drummond. And I mean, now with AD out, you look for another center, and Marc Gasol's getting all the minutes. I mean. Trez, I don't know what's going on in practice or what Vogel sees, but I don't think he's who he was last year, to be honest.
But you also got to think about the matchups, though.
Okay, but for a Lakers team, the Suns aren't deep at big, so I'm sure you could find a matchup for Montrezl Harrell. It's not like he's going up against 7-footer after 7-footer, and this is a Lakers team that needs a
That's
spark.
why you don't play him though.
See, my problem with him is exactly what Kyle said. Like, I'd prefer him against a 7-footer because he has innate advantages that allow him to compete with, guys who are rebounding. He's not exactly 7 foot, but he's a strong rebounder. But when you force him to be a stretchier player, like he's got to guard Cameron Johnson or he's got to guard Mikal Bridges or
there's no spot for him.
You put him in pick and roll if he's guarding DeAndre Ayton and he has to come up there, top of the 3-point arc. He can't really defend out there. So if they were to play Denver, he's a perfect matchup for Aaron Gordon. Throw him on Aaron Gordon; he'll get some minutes.
He's perfect for Millsap, I think, as well on Denver.
Mm-hmm. So, that's to me what it is. But it is interesting. Dude was 6th man of the year, can't get any, burn.
He's finding himself because they're not starting Drummond, right? They're starting AD when he's playing. Mm-hmm. So essentially, we're talking about Trez finding himself as the 4th string center. I don't know which teams in high school level, any level, play their 4th string center, and it could be a.
But should he be the 4th string center? Like I'm, if his playoff minutes
Gasol
were cut,
getting good minutes.
But this is the 6th man of the year. Why get him then? Like, I guess you can't foresee these things when you go and make a move for him last offseason, but this is the 6th man of the year. And if his playoff minutes got cut, if he's down 10 to 15 minutes a game, then, I'm less confused because I get that he might not just have a spot. But a DNP? He didn't even rip off the rip-off pants. That's just really confusing to me. But we can move on from that because that was a lengthy time spent on that series. The next one, we'll stay in the Western Conference because we got to talk about the game that just happened last night. A couple games just happened last night, but the late one, the double OT one, Nuggets Blazers, and one of the craziest performances I've ever seen in a playoff game from one player in Damian Lillard. But Matt, I know that's your series, so I won't steal your thunder, but we definitely need that one.
I gotta say, the biggest L that was taken last night was by TNT. They definitely picked the wrong game.
Right.
NBA TV got a huge W by having that game on. Lillard's performance is probably the best performance in a losing effort other than the LeBron Game 1 2018 Finals game. It's the most efficient 50-point playoff game in NBA history. He set the record for most threes made, and his teammates just completely let him down. On uncontested threes, they were 8 of 24. That number needs to be at least 50%. CJ McCollum was he stepped out of bounds late, 7 of 22 overall. They didn't come for him, and it's actually kind of funny. It's like a reverse of what happened 2 years ago, where in Game 7 against the Nuggets, Lillard played like shit, and McCollum carried them through to the win.
Yeah.
So it's almost. Unfortunately, Lillard wasn't quite enough because Jokic was better this game. And I do think Jokic had a great game, but no one's talking about it because he's a boring player to talk about. Just average,
Jokic had a
normal
great game.
days, 38, 11, and 9. The pass he made on the game-winning 3 was stupid good. And it was just a joyous game of basketball. The bad call with Austin Rivers got corrected. They got to reset it. And the biggest takeaway is that I'd argue it's the most fun series because as a casual, no one has a vested, a strong hatred or love of the Blazers or the Nuggets. You can just watch it for basketball-loving sake.
Yeah.
And I definitely think this is going 7. The Blazers actually outscored the Nuggets this series. And I think if the Blazers want to win, they got to stop giving Melo the ball. Melo's just been a black hole offensively, and he's a turnstile defensively. You got to stop giving Melo the ball.
I agree. I think the problem here is you said Jokic had the better game. I disagree. Lillard had
not
the better game.
He wasn't better than Lillard. No one's talking about how good he was because Lillard did the show-stopping things.
Yeah, but that's what highlights what this series is. Jokic is getting help. Portland has no one other than Damian Lillard. Norman Powell had 29 the game before. Yesterday, he shot an inefficient 13. CJ McCollum played 50 minutes yesterday, had 18 points. doesn't match up well.
Robert
and then you got
Covington
guys
missed 2 dunks.
two dunks,
Oh,
two dunks in
Rocco.
overtime, one in first
Oh,
overtime, one in
Rocco.
second overtime. And the problem is they're letting Monte Morris score 28 on him. They're letting Michael Porter Jr. get 20 when Jokic has 38. I mean, he's not getting the help he needs,
But
which I
we
hate
know-
to see.
Blazers
'Cause
teammates were 1 of 19 in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, all of both overtimes. 1 of 19 of players not named Lillard.
Well,
Yeah,
two things.
ridiculous.
One, we know the Blazers are a tragically bad defensive team. They've never been a good defensive team, and it's really starting to show now. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but it's definitely starting to show. Two, it may be time for Dame to run from the grind. I know he was talking to Paul George and Pat Bev last year about you boys as chumps running from the grind. Dame, it might be time for you to run from the grind. Like it's you've proved your point.
No, I got the best
You're stoic
idea.
enough. You're stoic enough. It might be time to get up out of Portland, man. It might be that time.
Jimmy
What's your
Butler
idea?
is owed potentially like $50 million, and when he's 36 years old, and the Heat might not want to pay him, trade McCollum for Butler in a package, so the Heat can avoid that giant contract, and the Blazers can go all in with Lillard instead of just being this perpetual 5-6-ish seed that they've
So-
been for the past 5 years.
That does make them a better team. I would say that probably makes them a better team if you make that swap.
it
That doesn't
does.
win a
but-
title. That doesn't win a title.
It doesn't win a title, and also like I love Nurkic regular season. You know, he's a decent player, fair. You know, probably above average player. It's
He's
fair to
good.
say. He has been a big problem for them in this series. He's averaging 5 personal fouls a game, and you know, no discrediting him. He's guarding the MVP
Mhm.
in Jokic, but you know, playoff basketball is about question, answer. Right now, they can't answer Jokic. They have no answer for Jokic. Jokic is averaging 32 in the series per game, and he's third on the team in assists, meaning, you know, there are other guys who are now the facilitators. Jokic's focus is on score. They know. They have circled the matchup, and they're attacking it. And that's also a reason why late in games, they have no interior defense, and it creates open looks for others. You drive, you kick, you have no guy to protect the rim. And another thing I noticed, and this may sound kind of stupid considering Dame had 55, but you almost reap what you sow. It's almost Westbrookian in a sense, because when you look at the assist numbers, they were moving the ball great until the overtimes hit. 1 assist in both of the overtimes combined. Now, I get it. When Dame Lillard is going off and, you know,
it's
Yeah.
it's
Man,
hard.
you
It
let
can
him
be
run.
difficult. He's
You
a
gotta-
point guard. He
so
brings the
efficient.
ball up. He's
You
the
gotta-
best
He was
player.
so
And he's-
efficient shooting. Fuck
and he's
passing.
gonna hit the logo
If
and
you're
pull
gonna
up.
make him,
Lillard had 27 assist opportunities last night. Only 10 of the shots went in.
But it makes it difficult when you are Robert Covington and 8 out of 10 possessions, you are a spectator. You are when you're watching the Dame show, which it is what it is. Like, that's probably their best chance to win, but he's cold. He's sitting there. He's not involved. The ball's not in his hands, and they're less prone to make big plays.
I got it.
Dame's
reversed. I got it
offensive
reversed.
rating this series. Dame's offensive rating this series is 144.
I don't even know how. I don't even know what
Him
to do
on
with
the
that.
offense is
I don't-
it's unconscionably high when he's on
Mhm.
the court is what it means.
Jake, I think it's reversed from the way you got it. I think that the assist opportunities stopped happening in the overtime because of the missed buckets and the missed opportunities, not the other way around. Robert Covington is now sitting in the corner cold because I've watched you clank a bunch of threes, and I have 40 going into overtime.
You just missed 2
You
dunks,
get-
bro.
I
You're
mean,
not
like,
touching
you
the
are
ball.
and I'm about to hit 50, and I'm about to get 50. Like Dame really.
That's why it sounds stupid what I said. I can.
It doesn't sound stupid. It's definitely there's a cause and effect situation, and figuring out which one is which, I think, is what we're doing. But I definitely think as Dame scores more and as they miss more, overtime hit, and he was like, "Y'all just need to get out there just so people can guard somebody else." Like I
Yeah.
need to go. I need to go and score. Y'all are there to take up space at this point. My second best player is 7 for 22. Like I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything.
what I need to see from Dame, because Dame had 55 last night, right?
Mhm.
Super
Yes.
efficient.
Yes.
No turnovers.
Jokic
no
took
turnovers.
No turnovers. No, he had one. He had one.
Did he have one turnover?
What's insane is Jokic took 7 more shots. If Lillard doesn't come out and shoot at least 30 shots next game, and they lose, I'm sorry, Dame, a little bit's on you. You might have 50 again, but
Oh,
a little bit
you-
is on you because you
Kyle.
need to shoot. Jokic
Kyle.
took 31 shots.
I like this take. This is
No,
a good take.
no.
No,
Yes.
that's why.
Kyle.
That's why the Sixers lost Game 7 against the Raptors. Kawhi was an inefficient 44, but he was the only player on the team that was willing to score.
I'm sorry.
So he took him.
I've seen
Yeah,
enough.
I like that
Someone,
take.
someone
Seen
dropped
enough.
55, and you're talking
Yes,
about
I tweeted. Dame was unreal. I texted you guys last night. It was insane
Yeah.
what he did. But you look back at it, and they started the game down 20 points. They had to claw back, and a lot of it wasn't Dame clawing back. He was huge in the fourth quarter on, but you can't put yourself in a 20-foot or 20-point hole on the road in a 2-2 series. That tells me that your game plan was not right. And you still lost this game behind 55 points. I'm sorry, Dame. You deferred to your teammates 3 times at the end of the game. One stepped out of bounds. One missed the dunk. One missed a 3. I forget who shot it. Shoot the ball. If you lose this series, it's clear that you need to be the X factor. Shoot the ball. Shoot
So
it
that's
more.
it.
I'm sorry.
Because my next question to y'all was going to be, who needs to step up? I think the easy question is the easy answer is CJ McCollum. But who?
CJ,
who,
he does.
But who can Damian Lillard? Can he rely on him to step up? Because in the past, yes, but
I feel Blazers have always been guard play. Norman Powell has already put up 29 in a game this series. He could step up, or CJ. You need at least 20 from one of them. I mean, that's given. Even last night, neither had 20. I know Dame had 55, but someone else should still have 20.
to watch
CJ
Melo Ball.
McCollum.
Go ahead, Jake.
It can't be Melo.
No.
To
That's
watch-
not what I was. Not what I
Yeah.
was going to say. Kyle.
Yeah.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Like CJ McCollum may be in contention with Porzingis for fake number 2 award.
Yeah.
You're billed as the number 2 guy. You're like a borderline,
I still think-
like you're a star, but you can't really be the number 1 guy, like almost like Tobias Harris kind of role. That man, he might as well be a glorified JJ Redick in some playoff series.
Holy
Like-
hell! Holy hell!
Inconsistent.
He's
a little
resigned
bit.
because
Little
his skill
inconsistent.
set is completely overlapped with Dame's. He does everything Dame does, like worse.
Dame just does
Yeah.
better.
Why would the ball be in his hands other
That's
than
fair.
necessity?
That's fair.
Both
That's
extra
why I
scorers.
like the Jimmy Butler move.
CJ's not having a horrible series though. He had a bad night last night, so
And
I
correct
think
me if
CJ's
I'm
doing
wrong.
fine,
This
though.
this might be something we can dive into a little bit later. I bet the bulk of CJ's points, like CJ hits timely baskets when Dame is on the floor. I bet he does the bulk of his stretch scoring when Dame is off the floor because he captains the second unit and now he's the primary ball handler, primary scorer on there. I would love to see how many of CJ's buckets come in that second and third period when Dame's off the floor. Like I bet that's where he shines. But we can move on to
I
the
don't
next
doubt it.
series.
yeah. I
Move
don't